Okay, welcome everybody. Uh, I'm gonna let's see. We're in November. We will be 4 years old. 7K. That's just a couple of short months away. November. I actually joined uh, uh, and had our first meeting. I had our first meeting. Of course, I joined, put myself in a computer, and put my wife in, and put our business family back in. Uh, Before I had the first meeting on November 17th. And by the way, that was a Friday night, and that was my birthday. So I became 70 that night that we did the business. And uh, one of the things in joining the business is duplication. And getting started right in the business is so very important. And I've noticed that that's some of the things that's not getting duplicated, and it's causing some problems. So I wanted to address that tonight and maybe make it short, make it get started, let you use it as a process of signing up. So welcome to 7K, you new member. Welcome to the opportunity of your lifetime. And I truly mean that. You've just joined a multi-billion dollar global company, and that's what we will be in a few short years. And you have a chance to be part of that. You have a chance to make as much of that as you want, and you can make a little $500 check for the rest of your life every week. And that's not too bad. That's not too small. And I call that, you know, what if you fail and that's all you end up making is $500 extra a week for the rest of your life? And everybody in this business in those first few years, that's that kind of opportunity you have. But if you just find one person and you're in the right group, right place, right time, yeah, that means you're going to make $1,000 check for for the rest of your life. No, and all you have to do is find somebody on, let's say, your pay leg, and you'll learn what that means. That's making a $500 check every week, and you can turn that into 1,000. And you don't even have to find that person. Somebody on that pay leg team can find a person who finds a person who finds a person who finds a person. And it may be in a country we open up 3 years from now or 4 years from now. That one person can make you $1,000 check for the rest of your life. Now that's pretty powerful. And so understanding the power of what you have in your hand is the first step to success. And belief is one of the next biggest factors. And most people do not believe in themselves. Most people sell themselves short. Most people uh, don't allow themselves to be successful. They talk themselves out of it. They find every excuse for themselves. And what I want to tell you to do is don't do that. Don't be one of those people. If you want to change your life, you got to change what you're doing. You got to change the way you think. Got to change the way you do things. And this this particular company and this particular opportunity uh, affords that opportunity to everybody and gives you a greater probability of developing a multi six-figure income than anything you can possibly consider to do in your life. And I said probability, and that's what's so cool about it. And you get tax benefits. Uh, you you get you get wealth building benefits. You can't lose a ton of money. You can only make money. And if you keep asking yourself, well, you know, I don't believe that coin's worth that much money I have to buy every month. Attitude and belief. Attitude and belief. And everybody in my team or just everybody in my team should know, if they don't, should know that what I told people in the beginning is true. It's not just that $1.2 million mistake that you saw on that video, but that's the earnest truth. But I share with people that we're going to be different, and we were. We started that state series coins, and there were a lot of people who just boo-hooed that. A lot of so-called leaders in this company. I said, oh, it's just a label. It's still that old MS-70 Eagle. Well, shame on them. Shame on them. Well, I certainly didn't believe that. And if you go back to some of the corporate calls and some of the things, it was me talking to everybody. The company called on me to take it because I explained where I saw that value with the very first state coin. And then the second one, because we still had those boohooers out there. Well, let me tell you, you can't find an Idaho coin for less than $140. Okay? You can't find one. If you can, send them to me. I want to buy them. Okay? I got so many people who want an Idaho coin. Well, sometimes I do get them less than that. But you know how I get them? I buy all of the coins they have because they got some extras. They need some extra cash, but they're not selling their original set or their original two sets. And they're selling everything they have to get them extra cash, and they're getting paid exactly what they paid for it or a little more. Now that's pretty cool. So they hadn't lost a dime. So I guess I was right. Why is that? Because there's new people coming into business that they want that 50 state set. They understand that it will be more valuable. They understand that a subset of a subset has value because it's so few that will be available in the whole world. And that's what numismatic collections are. So that's number one, is understanding that product is a true product of value. And that's our engine that allows us to make a check. Okay. So we are different than every other network marketing company that exists, where their products cost more than a similar product that you can buy down the street or online somewhere else. Because you cannot buy our products online somewhere else and be a real product. Oh, few people's tried that one too, and they've gotten jilted. What I mean by they gotten jilted, well, they got some Chinese fakes, or they got some India fakes. Oh, they have pretty pictures on the websites, and it looks real, and the prices are good, but they got taken to the cleaners. See, there's one thing that we know when we buy a 7K product. It's certified, registered, and it's kind of like got a title on it. And by NGC or PCSG, and it's real. It's not one of those fakes that China made a little plastic case. Now they take pictures of real ones and put it up on the website, and then they put a bullion coin in there, not even an MS-70 coin. Oh, shame on those people that think you can get a good deal and haven't verified it. Okay? We don't have to verify ours. Ours is right there. We got a title. And that's going to be more significant in the very near future. And what I'm saying today, a year from now, every person will understand when they hear this video then. And those of you who hear it right now, it'll be clarified. It'll be as clear as crystal water about a year from now. Okay. The next thing is how do you enroll? What do you do? I need to stop some mistakes because it's hurting you, and it's causing misunderstandings, and let's get our enrollment process down right, okay? And one of the things is everybody always, I don't know what it is about human nature. They love to blame everybody else or blame the company, okay? And it's just not that way. And most of the time, it's the person that we're looking at in the mirror is the culprit. Uh, let's say we're enrolling somebody, okay? Now we go to the website and enroll them. And well, if we just tell them to do that, that's fine. Or we're helping them. Most of the time, we can't have an in-person uh, enrollment. Most of the time, it with distance over the telephone, or hopefully a Zoom or FaceTime or Skype or some media method, or just just talking. Uh, well, uh, on their computers, that's fine. But if you're enrolling someone and you're helping them and you're doing it on your computer, that's where a lot of mistakes are made. Or on your phone, that's where a lot of mistakes are made. So I'm going to give some very basic things that need to be done here and need to be taught and replicated many times until we get this down right and down pat. And different devices do different things, so I'm going to speak to all of them. Okay. When we go to enroll someone, we need to make sure they understand that they have a unique ID and it's called a username, and they have a website. So talk them through what you're doing. And I'm going to share my screen so we can see these things. And let's see. Let's get on Zoom here, and that'd probably do it. Just unmute yourself and tell me if you can't see my 7K website. Well, you open up a browser. Now, what's open up a browser mean? Well, if this wasn't here, I would go here and click on Google Chrome, or I'd click on Microsoft Edge, or I would click on Safari with Apple. But, I've already done that. And then this is called your browser, address browser. And yeah, I'm getting very basic here because many people will open up their internet service provider, and the first thing comes up is a Bing search, a Yahoo search, a Google search. Well, you're not going to go to your website that way because this is a subdomain. And so what you have to do is in the address bar of the browser, your internet browser, you have to type in the address. And I've typed in 7kmetals.com/PJR. I'm going to go to mine, okay? B-O-B. That's mine, Bob. Okay. So I tell everybody, go there, or I go there and I'm in person. And I explained to him that Bob is my username. There's not another Bob in the world. There's not another website, 7kmetals.com. You're going to, when you enroll, when we do this, get started, you're going to have your username right there, just like mine. And that'll be unique to you. And you're the only one with that website. Because, see, when we enroll you, you're going to be hooked up to me by the computer and by the company forever. Forever, we are married, and we can't get divorced. And so that's pretty neat. Anyway, we're going to be hooked up as partners, and you're going to be placed on either my left team or my right team. And so what you need to understand is I am on my public website. Everybody should sign up, everybody on their public website, not in a logged in back office, because you're going to be able to understand who is signing up who and who is sponsoring who if you do it this way. And the way you know you're on your public website is right here in this menu. It will say log in. If that thing says log out, guess what? You are in your back office. You're not in, even though the home page is there, but you're in your back office. You're not in your public, you're not on the front page. Now, this is how people enroll people and they get the wrong sponsorship, is because a lot of people, I'm going to go ahead and log in. I'm going to show you this. Okay. I'm going to log in and I'm going to be my Bob. I'm going to go ahead and log in, be Bob. And now I'm going to be in my back office. And now when I'm in my back office, I can go to my home page right here, the same way we were. Guess what it says? Log out. It doesn't say log in. Now, why am I doing that? Because even if I'm not in my home page, I'm on that dashboard. Watch this. I'm going to go in my dashboard, like where we were. And guess what I'm going to do, y'all? I'm going to just X out of this thing. Is that okay? I X'd out. Up where? You don't see it up there. It's not there anymore. So now I come into my computer and I bring the person in. We're ready to sign up. And we're supposed to sign them up on PJR's website, okay? Pam's website. She's going to be the sponsor, not Bob. And so we open up the browser. Oh, wow, up comes the browser. So we type in 7kmetals.com/PJR, and that's where we're supposed to go. Uh-oh, says can't be cited. Reload that sucker. Come on. There we go. So I'm going to open that thing up. 7kmetals.com/PJR. I need to put my glasses on. I knew I couldn't get it. I misspelled it. Okay, great. Man, there we are. We at 7K Metals PJR, right, everybody? Huh? Wrong. We're not. It says log out. Even though I X'd out of that browser, my computer has my back office in its memory. And guess whose office I'm in? Not Pamela's. It says Pamela's. Oh, no. It's Bob Reed's. See, welcome back, Bob Reed. The front page tells me I'm on Pamela's website. So let's get started. Let's sign them up, okay? And we, of course, we always do premiums, right? Okay. And so I'm going to just continue, just make this real quick. And I'm going to say I'll take it later. Huh? Well, man, it looks like we got some things fixed here. It says PJR. Wow. Typically, I must have done something to my computer. But typically that's going to say that right there, DDD. Because I know what I did. I've been doing some corrections in my house because I have my computer synced. So when I've got one back office open on one computer and I'm on my Wi-Fi on another computer, they're syncing one another. I had to go in here and do a patch program so I wouldn't do that because I signed up some people this way and I just couldn't figure out what I was doing wrong. So I can't show you what I want to show you on my computer because I've fixed it. And I can't teach people how to do that. You gotta know how to program. Anyway, I will show you that. I'm going to log out of this back office. On your phones, the same thing will happen. And you will be in your back office when you swipe it off. You know how when you swipe off? Well, and you didn't log out? Well, if you swipe off and you didn't log out, you are still in your back office. And when you sign up somebody, you're going to sign them up on you instead of maybe somebody else. Because when you go to that new website on your phone, you're in their back office. So the company can't do anything about this because this is a device-oriented thing. It has nothing to do with the company and its programming and its supporting. So what I've done is work through how to prevent this through a procedure. Procedures are easily duplicated, okay? And so the procedure is what I'm about to share. The procedure is you make sure that you are logged out, that it only says log in. You make sure that you're on PJR in the browser. You scroll all the way down to the bottom and it says presented by. That is your sponsor. If that is not your sponsor, then get out of there and tell your sponsor if you're on, if they're on the other phone and they're doing this, that shouldn't happen when they signing up long distance. It only happens when the person is enrolling a person on their devices. That's when it happens. Or they're together and they enroll them. And in a device that they've been into a back office. If that device has never been into a back office, that will not happen. Okay. So most of the time people are doing the enrollment because they don't want things to make a mistake. They've got them sitting there together. And this is how this happens all the time. So key to be straightforward. You must have this on the website of the sponsor up here. It must say log in. And when it does, you click get started and you go through the process and you continue. And now we're going to do something. I'm going to show you something else. Okay. And we're going to go ahead and go through this because it's very important. And I'm going to just make up a name of a person, DDD XXX, and I'm going to put a street address. I'm going to put, I'm going to show y'all something else. Look, if I use a street address, I'm going to use Richard Wayne. Okay, guess what? If I used autofill, look just what happened right there in autofill. It changed the name of the person that I was enrolling. Okay, so I got to put XXX back there and, well, it was DDD XXX, but we're just going to change it. It'd be XXX DDD now. So I've got to type in the address, not use any autofill on the device. If you use autofill on the device, whatever's in that device will change all of the information in that application to that device's autofill last memory. So we're going to have to put in the address now. We're going to have to put it in the way we want. I'm going to leave that address since it's there. And we're going to pick our username, and I'm going to call it XXXDDD. Okay. Oh, they got one of those available. And I'm going to call it XXX@yahoo.com. Okay. And I'm going to put their phone number in, 222-333-4567, and we're going to put their password in, www and www, and then we're going to go down here and we're going to put the name on their credit card. Now, if somebody else is paying for it or whatever, the key is right here when we're putting names on credit cards, it doesn't matter what you do. Okay, I'm going to start typing a name. Look at there. I use my name. So I'm going to put my name in there. And once I put my name in there as an autofill, it didn't change that on that. But once I use my credit card information down here, any information on that credit card, and I start putting the address or anything in here, and I zip code anything, and I use autofill, what's going to happen is it's going to change the name of the person being sponsored. And that's how we can get in many family business packs, since the person signing in, then he signs in his wife right after they signed in, and then he's signing in his wife after he signed in, he goes to his website. Well, one of the ways is the first way I was telling you. They're on that same device, and he never logged out of his own back office when he got himself after he was playing. He logged into his back office and made his edits in his profile, and then when he went to the browser, he never logged out, and he ended up being in his own back office. And now he signs up, and he ends up signing up himself, sponsoring himself again, and not his wife. Okay, and he's the sponsor. That happens because of this process that I'm telling you about right now. Or he ends up going through it, and he used his credit card the very first time, and it didn't help because it didn't change anything because he is the person enrolling. Now he's using his name on the credit card. He used autofill for anything on the address down there. For anything on the address, even if the address is the same, husband and wife's address normally is the same. And in the address, he used the same zip code. He touched it, and it filled it in for him. And he goes through and pays, and he ends up, and he finds out his wife didn't sign up. He signed up again. And it's because the name got changed because of the autofill function on the device. Okay, so once we get everything here and we check this little box, before you purchase membership, you go all the way back to the top and make sure, see, there's one thing that's missing here is what? Street. East 25th. Okay. Now, oh, well, we're missing something else too. We're missing the credit card payment. I'm sorry. Okay. But, you know, if we have an autofill and we touched anything, it's going to change that name up here. So we need to scroll back up and make sure the name we entered is the name that's still there. If it is, good. All we do is come back down here, scroll down, and click purchase. And we got it made. If that name was changed, all we do is scroll up there to the name, stick in there, and type in the name that we had, DDD, X that one out, XXX. Once we get the right name in there, scroll back down, click purchase. And then when it comes up, the confirming thing, it'll say, your sponsor is, and congratulations, welcome, you're there. And just like it says right here, your sponsor's Pamela, and it'll confirm it, and then they can go sign in. Okay. Now, I can't really show my device on a screen, but I need to show y'all something on the device, how this happens. And I've been teaching a lot of people one-on-one this, but down at your device and on my device, you can have Google, you can have, I got Safari, so I'm going to hit Safari. Okay. And I see I'm already in a website. I don't want to be in a website. One second, let me get to another page here. Okay. So now it opens it up. It'll open up to a page that you got. Okay, that's the national debt clock. And so up at the very top is my browser bar. And so I can type in the browser bar where I want to go, the website of the sponsor. Okay. And when I type it in, the same thing occurs on the phone that does here. Now, what I want to show you is this. How do you know if your back office is open? Well, it's the same way, except here you don't have the menu at the top here like this. You only have the hamburger menu on a phone, on a device, unless you've got a 10X or higher, then you have menus, okay? If you don't have a 10X or higher or one of the latest Samsungs, then you don't have menus. All the other devices, handheld devices, have just a hamburger as the menu, and you click the menu, and if it says at the bottom one, if it says log in, then you're fine. If it says log out, you're in a back office. That's how you tell. Well, how do you log out? Well, you hit log out. Okay, that's how you log out. What most people do is this. This is what I want to show you on the screen. I'm going to go back to where I was. I'm going to go to that world clock. There's the website. Now, if you see at the very bottom of my screen, I'm going to try and get it. You see that little double square right there? So you have to scroll to the bottom that you see that at the bottom, and you hit that little double square right there. You just touch it. And when you touch it, look what happens. All the pages that I have open in my device, there's lots of them. Some people have thousands. They never close websites. they just swoosh them. And when they swoosh them off or they go to another app, it doesn't close that website. It doesn't log off of it. It's open in the memory of that phone. Now, sometimes if you get too many of those suckers open, your phone it works so slow. It's just chugging along. It can't do anything because too many of these things are open using the memory in the phone, okay? And so if you'll notice, one of these says 7K right there. So I'm going to just touch on it, and guess what? It's going to open that whole website up. Well, are we in a back office or not? Are we on a website? Well, there is that hamburger menu right there. See that hamburger menu? Come on. There it is right there. But under the AA is the hamburger menu. So I'm going to press on that hamburger menu. Now, it's going to open up that menu. You see that? So I'm logged out, aren't I? Because it says log in. Oh, look at that. Y'all see that word right there? Oh, right. Oh, come on, get it focused. Maybe it's so small you can't see it. Let me make it bigger. There we go. It says log in. So I was logged out. So that website is logged out and I'm okay. And I can sign somebody else in. Now, if that was too confusing, let me make it easy for everybody to make sure you always get the right sponsor. You can go to the 7K home page, which is 7kmetals.com. No / no anything, go to it. Click on Get Started, and I'm going to show you this one. Okay. But I've got to make sure I'm logged out. I cannot be on a device myself. So watch this, y'all. I'm going to take y'all to the home page of 7K. Here we go. It says home, 7K Metals home. It says log in, doesn't it? Okay. I'm going to click Get Started. Guess what it wants? It wants the username of who is going to be your sponsor. So I want Bob to be the sponsor. I type in Bob. That's my username. And it's going to hook them up to me automatically. The least confusing way to do this is this way, but you got to know what your username is. And you got to be able to tell them, and they got to spell it right. Okay, because the one thing you don't want is get them hooked up with somebody else. Okay, now this is basics. Here we are 3.5 years later, and I went back to the basics. We've got to revisit basics many times in a redundant business. If you don't revisit basics, your business will fall apart, because everybody get frustrated there. What am I doing wrong? What am I doing? I'm not doing it. Well, the company is not what I thought it was. It has nothing to do with the company. It has to do with all these crazy devices and technology. Okay. Everything I did here tonight, the company cannot do anything for anybody. Okay. Because their technology is fine. Everything has to do with devices and how the devices and the operator of that device is working it. It's just that simple. Okay. So let me finish it up with I'm going to stop sharing that screen, and I'm going to share one more screen with you, and get back on the big note that I always like to end with about basics. The basics is this. This is a huge business. All I ask you to do is commit 2 years of your life. Give me 10 hours of your life for 2 years. But you must do those 10 hours. If you've just been joined and you've been in the business for 2 years or 3 years or 4 years, well, we're not 4 years old. That don't count. You're just a member. Okay? I'm talking about being a business member. Okay? A business member wants to really earn the money. Okay? Well, you've got to develop skills, attitudes, and techniques. And you will hone these if you will get these SATs. And you take anything else in your life that you do, you got to learn this. And that's why I wrote this all on one sheet of paper. And revisit this often, especially if you get the feeling sorry for yourself. Okay? And what is it that you must give me? Yourself, not me, but yourself. You give it to me to make this, to prove the system works, or try and prove it don't work just by doing it. That's fine. You'll find it works. This is that 10 hours. You must do these things 10 hours a week. If you're not doing these things, then you're not going to develop those skills, attitudes, and techniques. And you got to be doing all 4 of them. You can't just do one and say, I'm doing it 10 hours a week. That don't work. You got to be doing all of them. Oh, yeah. I asked you to make an initial list, but everybody knows in that 2-year period, I want that 50 to turn into 500 in that 2-year period. And everybody can do it because it's in your associate training, exactly how to do it. And I don't teach that anymore, because it's right there in associate training, and it's the easiest thing to duplicate. But I teach you how to do your time management of that you should spend at least 10 to 15 minutes uninterrupted time. Shut yourself closed, no noise, no TV, no music, nothing. You're total concentrated on list building and using all those helpers that's in your associate training to try and remember certain things. And I tell people it's real simple. Sit there and try and remember everybody you were in the first grade with, then the second grade, then the third grade, then all the way up to the 12th grade. When you lived on Elm Street, who all did you know? Who did you play with? When you lived on Prescott Street, when you lived on Airline, when you lived on there, when you joined this club, when you joined this association, when you did this, when you went to work there, when you went to work there, who was your neighbors? Who'd you go to church with? Who'd you do this? Just go through your life. And all you're doing is trying to remember a name, but you must write it down. When you remember it, you cannot say, oh, I don't have it. You must write it down. And that's why that notebook's going to fill up. You'll get the other stuff later. Okay? You know, I do the call with Richard every Wednesday. And then I do the leaders call. And it's every Monday at 2:00. And on our free conference call. We got a conference call that's an opportunity call 5 days a week at noontime, Central Standard Time, same number, same code. You will learn skills, attitudes, and techniques just by hanging around, just by listening. You know, maybe you don't want to listen to the whole thing. Maybe just listen to the meat of it. That's less than 30 minutes. Listen to different ones. But do that at least once a week. That's part of that 10 hours. Okay, you make your corporate call. If you miss your corporate call, listen to it at your convenience on the replay on your website. But the key is making these exposures 5 a day. Now, that's not much. I mean, if you do it the way I teach you, that only takes you less than 5 minutes to make 5 exposures, okay? Now, when you're signing someone up, it takes a little bit longer, okay? But that's all you do. You do that for 2 years. Learn this script by heart. Practice it. Do it. Practice it on people. Learn that this is how this is your whole business. Left team, right team. And if you're this person and you only have a left team because you've just been there, well, that's that great opportunity that I was talking about. That if you find one person that can give you $1,000 a check for the rest of your life, or you don't even have to find it. As this team develops with a person, finding a person, finding a person, finding a person, finding a person, and one person anywhere in this team, as it develops, starts making a $500 check a week. Any person starts making a $500 check, you have a chance to make $1,000 every single week. Because they making 500 every week, they got to have 500 points on the left, 500 points on the right. They add and they come up to be 1,000 up here. Okay. Now, the last point on this is this. Okay, that's why you never quit. You're not losing anything. You're only gaining. You got gaining wealth, gaining product of value. It's not costing. It's forcing you to save money. One of the young ladies has cancer, and she bought a coin every month and maybe more. And she needed some cash. She didn't want to sell all her coins, but she had a whole series of set, and I knew people who wanted them, and so she didn't have to sell them. I gave her $1,500 and something for her coins. She got all of her money back, plus a little, and she didn't have to try and sell them. She didn't have to do anything with them. And so I asked her, I said, had you not been in this business, would you had that $1,500 to deal with the costs that you need to deal with right now? And she said, no, I wouldn't have saved it. I said, see, This business forces you to do things that you wouldn't normally do for your own benefit. It's so powerful. Well, anyway, she was very happy, but she was very sad that she had to sell her coins, and because she really liked her coins, but she didn't sell them all. But she sold her extras and one or two that she just needed to sell. But anyway, this is how we build our business. This is why we have such a great opportunity. And this is why we're so different than any other network marketing company, because see, that all that volume wouldn't have accumulated in that counter for that person to be able to do this. And then for that person to, grow and build, and then eventually start making $2,000 a check. And so that's why you need to learn people's stories. That's why you need to learn Bruce Harris's story. I had a whole potato truck driver, man. Okay. That's why you need to learn Denai Nelson's story. That's why you need to learn Colleen Lee's story. That's why you need to learn Chris Lattin's story and Joseph Lattin's story. That's why you need to learn Wayne Clark's story. Well, I mean, he didn't come in and do that. He just came in. He got put at the bottom of a leg, of one of these legs of people. He got put at the bottom. He's the first executive goal in this company. And in 6 months, he's averaging almost $3,000 a week, every single week in this business. I'm sorry, I thought I had that turned on silent. And so that's pretty powerful. And then look, this is how Pamela and I, just having fun, getting gold, getting silver, started making that kind of income. It wasn't that we were aggressively sponsoring and signing up people. I mean, I only put 3 people on my left, and 2 of them were older than me. and that's how I got started. I never put another person on the left-hand side since November 17th, 2016. That's building the business. I just got actives buying coins. So I need 8 actives to be a goal. Everybody went on this side of the business. And we got to where we were making $2,000 every week. That's pretty powerful, y'all. And then, I went out and got a couple of other people in, 2 more people, put them at the bottom of the leg. It sure helped a lot of people. And it flipped up my business, putting Wayne Clark underneath Pamela. And so she sponsored Wayne, not me. So I let Pamela sponsor Wayne. Why? I get the same volume that Wayne does. We're in a family business pack. We're going to do what's best for the family business. We work together. And so Wayne got put in under a lot of other people. Now they have a lifetime business underneath them. And then it flip-flop our business. Your business is going to flip-flop. Mine flip-flop. Your business is going to flip-flop. Now, Pam, she makes more money than I do now. Isn't that amazing? Yeah, I built the right side of basically her business. And now Pamela makes more money than me on a weekly basis. But that's not going to be very much longer, because guess what? Everybody on my left side, they kind of they know it, because I'm driving the left side again, and I'm working all the left side. I'm working with everybody on my left side now. I help people on my right side now, and I help people on the left, but I'm working personally. I'm going to work personally with everybody over here and help them build their business and build more of mine. And then we'll catch back up again. And that's how you build this business. See, it's a flip-flop business. And as the company grows, you grow, and you just learn to go with it, go with the flow, run with the business, have fun, accumulate wealth, and just make sure you always revisit the basics. Always revisit the basics, because the basics we've got to keep right, or that when it starts going wrong at the beginning, then it can only get worse. It gets progressively worse because people get frustrated. You don't want them to get frustrated. And so that's why I started with, let's get back to the basics, how we sign up somebody, because technology has changed on us. And that's what I want to leave you with tonight. And hope this helps, and I hope it helps those of you in the future in making sure you get your sign up. And always remember, when you're signing up, you got any question, call somebody, call your sponsor, call your sponsor. You know, there's somebody in your support group there that knows the answer, okay? And it's not the company. They don't sign up people. They don't do this part. Those people in the support are not the ones that answers these kind of questions. It's your support group. So start calling your leadership group, and when you have questions about these things, and make sure you understand them. I'm going to see every one of you on the beaches of the world, because this is an absolute wealth building machine that's changing people's lives daily, and it's going to change people's lives financially and forevermore for the next few decades. If y'all thought Apple and Amazon was big, wait till the world sees 7K. Good day.